I want to raise all of this with, for my money, one of the best labor secretaries we had in this country, right or left. She presided over this for a good long time and see a boom. And again, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you cannot deny the jobs boom that we had in those years. And this woman had a lot to do with Alexis Herman, former labor secretary under President Bill Clinton. Secretary, very good to have you.
Always good to be with you, Neil, and welcome back. I missed you.
Same here, and thank you for your very, very kind note. Secretary, I do want to get your thoughts on what your old boss had to say about the Affordable Care Act. Maybe they caught him at a weak or unscripted moment last night, but he was calling into question not so much whether it was worth it, but whether people can continue to take it to the degree they are with sharply higher premiums, and that it, at the very least, even with a New York Times page one story today, has to be rejiggered. Do you agree with that?
Well, you know, I heard the full statement, and I think much of what has happened is that the line has been taken out of context. Bill Clinton did what he's always does. He's like the chief explainer, and he really was saying that we've got more work to do to fix the Affordable Care Act, and we do. He talked about the fact that...
But do you think they knew or appreciated what was coming down the pike? A lot of people warned them that if you cover everything, it's going to cost you a little bit more than nothing.
Well, but the reality is President Obama himself has said that there are still many things that have to be fixed. Secretary Clinton has said it, and Bill Clinton was just laying it out, the reality of what we have to do, while still acknowledging the good that it has done. I think we've got to put it in context and realize that what we do have to do is to continue fixing the challenges and the issues so that more people can have health coverage. That's why Hillary Clinton has said she wants to look at the public option. She wants to make sure that people over 55
Wouldn't that be a bigger disaster? Wouldn't that be a bigger disaster, though? Because obviously the public option would presumably allow more competition. The law as it stands was going to allow more competition, and
exactly.
It didn't.
Well, but you know, what I'm glad about what Hillary has said, she's put some options on the table. She's talked about people over 55. You know, should they be able to buy into Medicare? What Mr. Trump has said is that let's get rid of it and let's start all over again. That's just not realistic. So I'm glad that we're talking about rolling up our sleeves, trying to figure out what's the best path forward.
Why is it not realistic to just junk it, Secretary? I don't mean that to be disrespectful,
yeah,
but to say,
I know you don't.
If you're veering toward a cliff, and you know you're veering toward a cliff, and there's every possibility the way you're veering, you will soon be over that cliff, where is the wisdom in continuing to move toward the cliff?
Well, Neil, I think this is a matter of opinion. I don't think we're veering towards the cliff. I think the fact that you have more people covered today than ever before is a positive. But the reality is, and you know this, no legislation is perfect coming out of the gate. Look at what we had to do just in the Clinton administration to go back and make welfare reform more effective. You know, I presided over the Workforce Incentive Act. And so what we have to do as a country is to say we're on a path to ensuring more Americans. How do we fix what's wrong and continue that? That's where I am on it. Are you surprised,
though? I'm sorry, Secretary. Are you surprised that Hillary Clinton is trying to take the good things of her husband's administration? There were many good things. Great jobs boom, and you were over that. But then trying to deny the things that made it a boom, like the North American Free Trade Agreement. So you will of it, it was a catalyst for growth. And she now repudiating that. You can't have it both ways, can you?
Well, you can't have it both ways. And I think what Hillary Clinton has said, and you heard me say this a lot as Labor Secretary, it's not about trade or no trade, okay? It really is about fair trade. And how do we make sure that we include worker rights in the process, that wages are going up, that we continue to protect national security. And so I think when it came to TPP in particular, and that is what the bill is that Hillary has particularly taken issue with of late, those are the criteria that she has put on. And looking back on NAFTA, and I was a big part of that as well, there's a lot, there was a lot that didn't work. But, you know, I think that we have to
I don't know what to believe, Secretary. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what to believe when she calls the Trans-Pacific Partnership deal the gold standard and now repudiate. I don't know what her views are.
But, you know, but she has said that she is not against trade. This is not a debate about whether you're for trade or against trade. this is a question about what's the right way to go forward. And
right.
I happen to believe that her record speaks for itself. She's had some trade votes that she supported, and she's had some trade votes that she didn't support. This is a stay tuned moment.
All right, I'll put you down as a maybe on Donald Trump then. Alexis Herman, former Labor Secretary, and Bill Clinton, thank you very much. Very good seeing you again.